All right, Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Yahawah is named the Heavenly Father, which means He is, He exists, He is all. YAHAWAH is or be. All right. Like Sirach says, He is all. Bahasham means in the name. Ba in ha the Sham name. Yahweh Shai is the name of the only begotten Son, which means He delivers. Again, Yah, He, Yahweh Shai delivers. And Rakha Kodash means Holy Spirit, literally translated Spirit Holy. Rakha, Spirit, Kodash, Holy. Double honors to the apostles, the elders of the great millstone, and salutations to brothers doing this thing in sincerity and truth done with charity. And just going to hit some of this article and then hit the precepts, man. Just more of the signs of the times, man. The crash this economy is here, which comes with the, when Esau faces a problem, presents a problem, he has an answer, which is going to come with the RFID chip, all right? The new currency they have and the chip being planted in you, man, all right? And it's also a sign of the times, man. This is the end. The fact that this economy is crashing is the proof that we're in the end, man, okay? V-shaped recovery of financial markets is a myth. They'll be destroyed by a credit default tsunami. Shit. The commercial and residential property markets are on the brink of collapse. And central banks promise to print unlimited amount of money. Will not solve the problem but trigger a major financial crisis. And in New York on Tuesday, June 23rd, at around 13:45, the NASDAQ Composite Index traded at a new record high of 10,221.85. While U.S. economic data indicates the nation is in the most severe depression in its history. The NASDAQ has surged an unprecedented 39% since Wednesday, April 1st. Are the current V-shaped recovery price actions and stratospheric valuations of the NASDAQ justified? Or has reckless Federal Reserve money printing permanently inflated wild asset bubbles in the stock, bond, property, and credit markets? Will these prices, manipulated by the extraordinary inventions of global central banks, create the most significant global financial crisis in history? Stock market bubbles have nothing to do with prosperity on Main Street. History is necessary. It provides us with the perspective on what data points will be required to achieve the V-shaped recovery we have witnessed in the NASDAQ from April Fool's Day to last Tuesday. Consumer spending is a critical engine that drives economic growth in every economy. Accordingly, to have a substantial and sustainable economic recovery, the economy needs to be close to full employment. Is that where the U.S. is now? Not even close. Around 50 million Americans are unemployed, and in the first quarter of 2020, the U.S. gross domestic product, the GDP, contracted by 5%. The percentage of full-time employees, and there was another article I didn't sit down on, but there was an issue with it. That was the issue. But it was going into how what the Federal Reserve had earlier predicted. They had to change it all because they had said it was going to contract less than that, but it increased. And they said the bounce back is going to be lower than they thought. The recovery is going to be lower than they thought. The percentage, and then in the article it talked about the reason that recovery even was seem like it's significant is because the amount of unemployment that's happened this year. So next year when it seems like it's an increase, it's only because it got so bad this year that the little increase they expect, all right, it's only going to seem significant because how effed up it really is now. The percentage of full-time employees relative to the working age population is below 45%, the lowest in recorded history. This current negative feedback loop between employment and consumption is not sustainable. The central banks have provided endless liquidity to the markets, which have seen enormous share buybacks, enabling momentum chasers to buy every dip and CEOs to profit handsomely, cannibalizing their corporations' balance sheets at taxpayer expense. So the buyouts is only making it seem like these companies are doing good. All right. Meanwhile, they really going down the drain. Just like American Airlines CEO Doug Parker did. Stocks have ignored gravity, aka economic reality. In the words of the day trading community, stocks can only go up, right? One great example of central bank manipulation is Apple. Its shares traded at a new record last week of $372.78, seeing the tech giant's market capitalization rocket towards $2 trillion. The buyers of Apple shares must be thinking the 50 million debt saturated, unemployed Americans are desperate to purchase the new $1,700 iPhone or $4,500 MacBook Pro. Nope. Central banks, specifically the Swiss National Bank and Federal Reserve, had purchased Apple shares and corporate bonds, inflating the Apple bubble and funding massive stock buybacks. How does this help Main Street? It does not. It creates an illusion of profitability, widening the wealth gap and enriching the technology oligarchy. During his career, Apple CEO Tim Cook's total compensation is over $1 billion. In 2018 was $136 million, and in 2019 dropped to $125 million. It is a safe bet Cook's total compensation for 2020 will set a new record high above $150 million a year. An even more ridiculous example of irrational exuberance is the share price of Elon Musk's Tesla. You know, the company that has 3 or 4 press releases a day and doesn't keep the targets or make profits. Tesla shares also hit a record new high last week of $1,027.48, seeing its market capitalization surge to $190 billion. Musk's profitless company paid him $1 billion bonus this quarter. Still, I guarantee that those who purchase Tesla shares will regret it. Perhaps even as soon as the company's next capital raise, because profitless corporations like Tesla that burn cash faster than a SpaceX rocket burns fuel always need more funding. It is similar to heroin junkies always needing the next quick fix. I can say that Elon Musk is one hell of a salesman. He likely put the S in snake oil. Man, this is a heavy article. Meanwhile, central banks have promised to print unlimited amounts of money, but they will never be able to print demand and fail to recognize the difference between provision of liquidity and remedying basic issues of solvency. COVID-19 has seen workforces across the globe collapse, and those Americans find themselves among the employed 45% are lucky. They are allowed to work from the safety of their own homes. COVID-19 has crushed corporate profits. It made management realize how it may be more profitable to have employees work from home rather than report to an office every day. Thinking about the savings, corporations can cut employees and rent payments. The 1,000-pound gorilla in the room no one sees or will acknowledge is the commercial and residential real estate markets. I know of many highly leveraged commercial properties, developers with massive loans that are either close to or already in default, with no prospect for tenants anywhere in sight. This includes shops on every high street, along with the enormous amount of now deserted and vacant strip malls and shopping centers across America. Likewise, with millions of unemployed Americans, the number of residential mortgage default is skyrocketing as well. Man, I'm gonna start in these precepts. That's really enough, man. This shit is through. This Isaiah 19. And 14. The Lord hath mingled a perverse spirit in the midst thereof. They have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggereth in his vomit. So everything they doing is putting them at a disadvantage. All right, printing out unlimited money is only increasing what? Debt. Giving the illusion that the economy is still booming. All right, it doesn't heal anything. It just is actually making that balloon swell more. So when it finally pop, it's going to be a bigger explosion. Dumb decision. Neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which the head or tail, branch or rush may do. All right, so look, the jobs is gone, and that's the Lord doing this. In that day shall Egypt be like unto women, and it shall be afraid and fear because of the shaking of the hand of YAHAWAH'S, which he shaketh over it. So the Lord is taking this place down, man. That's why unemployment is skyrocketing. That's why this economy is crashing, and it's gonna get worse. All right, it's gonna get worse out here, man. All right, this debt bubble is gonna pop, man. And when it pops, these nations are going to be looking to eat, man. They're gonna be ready to come take America down. All right. That's why they fighting back. You know, they standing up against the big bad wolf now, man. All right. Let's back at 2 and 5. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine, here's a proud man, either keepeth at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people. And America has done that, man. All right. Babylon the Great. All right. Great mystery Babylon that got the nations drunk. All right. Got everybody on a Western mindset following after them, especially getting on a debt-based system. All right. Everybody's got a central bank. All right. And that's going, when America's dollar crashes, that's going to fuck up not just the American economy, the world economy. And therefore the people will be pissed. Shall not always take up a parable against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increaseth that which is not his? How long? And to him that ladeth himself at thick clay. And that word for thick clay is the Hebrew word ibatyat, which means heavy debts. All right. So how long would this system last? You taking up, you buying the world, all right, with this idea of getting rich, or get died by the sword, because then you a bomber, okay? But that's what you're doing. And how long you think that was going to stay under you, man? When the whole time everybody just increasing in debt, man, not true riches. Should they not rise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be for booties unto them? And now the nations are rising up against you, man. All right, getting into armory deals with Russia. All right, going against what you say. You putting sanctions on them. All right, don't buy your weapons from this place. That they not listening to you no more. All right, you putting tariffs on countries. They putting tariffs back on you. All right, Russia supplying army supplies to Venezuela. All right, weapons that's capable of launching nukes. The Philippines talking shit against America. All right, they giving orders to fire on America if Iran and China to fire on them if they're in their waters. All right, starting problems, and they're ready to come against you now, man. Because thou hast spoiled many nations, all the remnant of the people shall spoil thee, because of men's blood, and for the violence of the land of the city, and of all that dwell therein. So now you're going to get spoiled, man. We in that time. So your economy's crashing, that heavy debt. All right. These nations are seeing it. And they wrapped up in your shit. They pissed off. They ready to take you down, man. And soon it's going to come. All right. You will get burned up. This is James 5:1. Go to now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rest of them shall be a witness against you. And you got rid of the gold and silver. You use what? Fiat, man. Debt-based money. And that system is now crashing. And so this is a witness that we're at the end. This is a witness against you, man. And shall eat your flesh as it were fire. And what comes with that? That economy collapse? Nuclear destruction. All right? You have heaped treasure together for the last days. Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts, as in the day of slaughter. Ye have condemned and killed the just, and he doth not resist you. All right, so the Lord is coming to exact revenge for what you've done, man. All right, you've taken over the world, forced the world into in subjection to you. But mainly the Israelites, man, beat us down, destroyed us, all right? Just fuck us up every chance you get. And our people is following that, got their head up so far with your butt, all right? You ain't even have to do it, man. They do whatever Esau tell them to do, and Esau's still stumping them out, man. So the Lord has heard our cries, man, and now he's taking you down, okay? The Lord is taking you down. This is Obadiah 1:6. How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him. Shall I not in that day, saith the Yahweh, even destroy the wise men out of Edom, and understanding out of the mount of Esau? So the Lord is taking away the wisdom from Esau, Edom. It's his time to go down. And these countries that were at peace with him, like China, a country that once owned the most debt, U.S. debt, is now letting it go, getting rid of their treasury bonds, all right, increasing their gold reserves. That's a heavy wound on America. Then they putting tariffs on them, all right. This is the end of this place, man. And what comes with that? World War III. All right? This is going to lead to World War III. This is Jeremiah 51:7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. So the Lord made Babylon this prosperous nation. And all the world seen that, got in bed with this place so they can increase in riches. All right, got built up off this country, man. All right, Japan is a prime example. America bombed the fuck out Japan and then brought it back to life. But that was the Lord that did that. Forced their way of life on them. All right, because that wine goes to philosophies, doctrines. All right, that's in the book of Isaiah. It said they stagger, but now with strong drink. You know, they stumble with wine. The nations have drunk enough her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. And believe it or not, Babylon is destroyed. They said we're in the worst depression ever. All right, you just haven't felt the effects yet because it's boosted up by what? The manipulation of the markets. But that shit won't last. All right. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. So these nations are worried about themselves now. All right, trying to ease the pain that come when the economy crash, but it won't help. They're too much in bed with Americans. It won't help. For her judgment reached unto heaven and is lifted upon and is lifted up even to the skies. The Lord hath brought forth thy righteousness. Come and let us declare in Zion the work of Yahweh power. Make bright the arrows. Gather the shields. Yahweh hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. His device is against Babylon to destroy it. And again, Revelation calls this what? Mystery Babylon. Psalms 137 calls the daughter of Babylon who? Edom. That's the mystery. Edom is in control, the son of perdition, the wicked, according to Malachi 1:4, 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter. All right, and it said the Medes is going to come against them, man. All right, you look at the land. Whose land is that? That'll be the Russians, man. All right, who's the Russians in bed with? Hey, with Elam, man. All right, just like Media Persia, Russia and Elam together, man. They coming against this place, man. For his device. Did not Iran just put a arrest warrant out for Trump? For his devices against Babylon to destroy it. Because it is the vengeance of Yahweh, the vengeance of his temple. So that's what's coming, man. All right? Hey, call all Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. All praises to our Father, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, B'Shem Rakakodash. The Lord is taking this place down. All right? The economy crash is the proof. All right? Hey, Shalom.